Today's episode number 7 of The Caster. We've come a long way to get here, and here's how. Last time we said goodbye to John Finch, leaving us with just 2 contestants remaining. Throughout the entirety of the show, we've put everybody through the ringer, whether it's live commentary, putting on a patch notes show, doing everything it takes to be a caster, and it all comes down to this. Gabriella DEVIA-ALLEN and ROHNJOBERT. These are our 2 remaining finalists, and it's time to put everything all into one big ball. Can you build a team? Can you put on a show? And most importantly, perhaps, can you execute? Let's find who winds up on top. Who is the caster? ROHNJOBERT and Gabriella, first of all, congratulations for making this far. Y'all both are in the finals, hooray. But Gabriella, you did win, so that means you do get a leg up on the finals above ROHNJOBERT. Now, commentary is not just a one-man or woman job, and frequently it's larger than 2 people as well. In fact, to put on a big production, you honestly need a squad of people. So for the finals, we're gonna give you that squad. Let me introduce you to a supporting cast. You might recognize them. They're your former friends, the 8 remaining members from the caster. So, as I normally say in picks and bans, option over to Gabriella. Take your first pick.
John Finch.
Good pick.
Makes sense, right? Yeah. Almost good enough.
There you go. He was the runner-up for the finals. I think that's a strong, strong pick. John's proven to be pretty well-rounded. That's exactly who Gabriella is going to take first in the finals. Ron, you saw Gabriella. She's
Rabies.
Bang! Actually surprising me a little bit there. I didn't expect that one, but said and done. Rabies is number 2.
Dude right here.
Gabby chose to opt with Freight Train, Shadowboy, and Patrick, while Ron went with Rog, Merlo, and Supersonic Blur. With the team selected, we'll head to All Fired Up, a local arts and crafts store here in Alpharetta, Georgia, for a bit of a different challenge. Obviously, I think you can tell, we decided to shift gears a little bit and have some fun here. And when it comes to commentary, specifically this challenge, it's all about teamwork, and it's all about, the bigger picture and getting together and working as a unit. And so to sort of introduce that is a man who's all about teamwork himself, the COO of Hi-Rez, it's Todd Harris.
Hey. Well, congratulations, guys, for getting this far, for being part of this competition, and to our 2 finalists. Our players know Smite is a game about teamwork. You're not going to win if you try to YOLO it up, right? It's all about your team. And for you guys, it's not just one man or woman behind the desk. You're going to be working with an esports team, a production team of 30+ people. So for this final challenge, it's pick an object, pick a theme, and as a team, craft something that you're proud of and you're proud to bring back to us as judges. And you've got 30 minutes.
Go.
I'm feeling pretty on edge today. It's the last day. It all comes down to this. There's a lot to do, and having to split off between not just preparing for the cast and what I'm going to do when casting the game, but also managing a team, it can be a pretty hard balance.
Have you ever, drawn before?
Yeah, I went to art school, These two
I want to make sure
everybody knows that in school. Feel really confident. My crew, pretty much everyone on my crew said that they wanted to be with me because I'm the complimentary guy. We have that really positive energy, and honestly, I think we're gonna kill it.
Got what I'm looking for here. Number 16. Yeah.
Is it all even? Is 300 even.
Yeah, it's all even.
So if I start like here and then you go like there.
Do we have to do like the base color first and then like sometimes we just do like a stripe around it?
Sometimes she does kind of let some of the bigger personalities on the team, like Freight Train and Patrick, kind of like run over her just a little bit. And so, I mean, I recognized it and I try to help alleviate it when I see it happening. But I mean, that's kind of the only thing I think that could be a problem. I mean, she's strong and she's trying to get the best out of everyone to make sure that she's going to be putting herself in the best spot she can.
Yeah. The flag is like, but we don't have like a logo.
We gotta put the hand. We gotta get the logo. We have to do the logo.
We're halfway through. You have 15 minutes left. Only 15 minutes.
Retiring that one.
That one's just get this gets retired.
Okay.
Just do a base code like.
Too bad I can't rap.
My name is Patrick and I'm here to say we're gonna paint this dish in a rapping way.
Are you guys rapping without rabies?
I was gonna say, boy, you better put a beat on. Kill right now.
Okay, I got you, Rabies. I got you, Rabies.
Whoa! All right.
You better start painting, boy. What the?
I'm the hype man. I'm the hype train. It's real simple. I bring the energy. I bring the energy. I bring the knowledge, and I bring the commentary.
Do some Eminem in here, right?
My bad.
Yeah, man. Hold on. This brush is a lot.
All right, teams, we're down to the final 5 minutes. 5-minute warning. Let's bring it together.
Jazz it up a little bit with some like spots here and be like, because then
That's what the importance of this is. This is a trust and team building exercise.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Paintbrushes down. Step away.
To victory.
All right, so you guys have had a half hour to go ahead and make your team whatever it is. Todd, you're the judge. Figure out any questions.
All right, Gabby. I guess let's start with why'd you choose this object, and you know, what's the story you're trying to tell with it?
awesome. So, first of all, we selected this object because the shape allows it to offer, there's clearly a supporting component with something that leaves a lot of opportunities. Then, when it came to decorating it, first of all, one thing that we all have in common, we're all part of the high-res community. We came here because we're aspiring to grow from where we began to what high-res is now. So at the base of it, we used what the original high-res colors were. So we have to put ourselves in between there somewhere, right? So with the base, we all kind of collectively agreed because while we are a team trying to serve as the captain role and they all feel supporting me as the captain, we have their colors represented here on the base as lifting that up and working collectively. So each of these different colors represents the different personalities and something new that they bring to the table.
I'm pretty sure you can see me falling asleep in the background. Maybe there's a cut to me and I'm dead. It was rough. Just way too much nonsense.
We can make that discovery and actually make the jungle our own. With that, constantly trying to achieve that top res, high res quality.
All right,
Thanks,
a
team.
lot of story behind it. Sure, awesome.
Going with the story behind it felt good at first, and then I thought, no, he probably just kind of wants to see the camaraderie and everything.
So ROHNJOBERT's team, you heard Gabriella's story about hers and everything. A lot of symbolism, a lot of structure there. Now you guys a little bit more straightforward, or so it seems. Tell us a little bit about behind the scenes here.
Well, to begin with, we wanted to pick the mug because the mug had like a really strong resonance with all of us, with like a camaraderie and kind of like, you know, having a pint, that kind of thing. We really all took that in stride, and we said, you know, we wanted to make this rustic. We wanted to make it actually look like a thing instead of a nothing. So we gave all of the flags for everybody on this team because we have the only national team. So we have the UK represented by John Webb. You know, Merlot has the Italian stripes, and then we have the stars and stripes at the bottom, and it's the handle, keeps everything together. It's the most important part. You know, nobody holds a mug like this, and if you do, you probably don't like have any friends or anything. We wanted, you know, because we're the Extremely Chill Dudes is the name of our team. We just kind of wanted it to be just a really cool, solid, rustic, just really nice designed thing.
All right.
All right.
Clearly a lot of passion there.
Yeah, a lot of passion. You know, it's funny. We came to the art studio to kind of take a step back from the heated competition and take it easy. I think we dialed it up a bit, which is kind of interesting.
Yeah, I agree. There's a lot on the line, and clearly these folks have a lot invested in this. So, yeah, it's good to see, and we're going to have a tough decision.
And it's going to be rough.
All right, thanks, guys.
I think it's going to look really good coming out of the kiln, and that's honestly something that I want to keep like forever. Like it was just, I'm really proud of it.
All right, so both teams have had 30 minutes. Gabriella, you created a chalice, and we see ROHNJOBERT and his squad went ahead and made a stein. Now, Todd, you asked him a couple of questions and got the story behind everything. So, you know what? You got to make a decision. It's your chance. The floor is yours.
Tom, this was tough. These are two good teams, two good folks, both of which I'd be proud to have represent high res at any event, honestly. And it was very different styles, right? I mean, Gabby, the presentation was super polished. The team had done their homework about high res. They knew colors. They had a story that was very compelling. You know, team number 2 is a very different style, a little rougher, but clearly authentic and passionate, right? So it is a decision between styles of delivery, styles of approach. But if I can only pick one, and that's what you guys have asked me to do,
That is the truth.
I will go with authenticity, passion, and camaraderie over everything else, and that came across with Ron and team number 2. Congrats.
So, Ron, Rabies, and crew, because you guys win the mini challenge, this is obviously, as I've said a number of times, going to give you a leg up on the competition for the final challenge. Now, you guys are aware that you're going to put on 2 separate shows, one Paladins and one Smite. Now, here's the bonus for you. Not only do you get to choose in which order you'll be delivering these shows, but also which team goes first. So, it's up to you to decide if you want to follow Gabriella's lead or if you want to blaze a trail yourself.
The mini challenge, I felt okay. It was more enjoyable as a fun experience. It was nice to kind of step back from the gaming aspect for a second, paint with the team, get to bond with your team a little bit. So even though we didn't win, I feel like we still gained something out of it.
Not very stressful. It's in my wheelhouse. This art is all my thing. Smite is my thing. I'm just looking forward to it. I know that we're gonna go out there and crush it, so at this point I'm just waiting for the opportunity to show the judges that I can direct a show and I can pick and choose with the best of them, and especially with me and casting, it's gonna just, I'm gonna kill.
Enough arts and crafts. Let's get back to the main task at hand. Our 2 finalists have had time to put together an entire show, picks and bans, game, interview, the whole shebang. Gabriella's up first, so Golden Boy, it's Gabriella versus ROHNJOBERT. What are you looking for here in the finals?
One, I never thought I would say it's Gabriella versus ROHNJOBERT. Okay, just being that guy. No, but I am so excited for this because, for one, we know Gabriella is very put together. She plans everything out, and that's always been a quality trait of hers. For ROHNJOBERT, this is going to be a unique challenge. You know, we all know that he's a nice guy and he works really well with folks, but to be the leader, I don't know if he's going to be capable of, of doing that. So that's going to be what I'm looking for, seeing where he puts people and if they're utilizing the proper strengths.
I mean, obviously we need to be looking at the whole team, but this is a challenge about the caster, and I am going to be focusing primarily on Gabriella and ROHNJOBERT, and to see how they've grown from day 1 to here, if they've been listening to our advice, and if they take it to heart.
And Golden Boy Kelly completely right. I agree with everything they said. I'm excited in a weird way, though, about the redemption day. For all the other 8 who got eliminated here, they get a second chance to shine and maybe show more than what we actually got to see on the show.
You're absolutely right, Graham. And what I'm really excited for is just to watch. We have 2 very different flavors of commentary and everything else here for our main challenge. So without further ado, let's say hi to Gabriella and her squad.
Welcome back. We are here for game number 5 of Smite Masters, Team Dignitas versus Team Obey. But before we get to the game, we're going to go ahead and throw it over to our analyst desk where Unexceptional is going to give us a rundown of how the game's going to go down and what to expect.
Thank you so much, Major. I am Unexceptional, and with me at the desk is my man Freight Train to break it down for you. Freight, after game 4,
Who do you think's got the momentum going into Game 5?
You got to give it to Obey. I mean, realistically, that Nox play from Pretty Prime was unbelievable. You could have called it prime time, baby. I think Twitter kind of gave it to him a little bit as we get into these picks and bans.
I mean, I feel for him. I had the same reaction at home watching that, and I mean, everything in me says Robin, bad jungle pick. Everything I'm seeing says Robin, OP jungle pick.
I mean, it's the early pressure. The fact that you can get Piranha Onslaught or either the Root as well to go ahead and sit there and use a Sunder. I mean, it's just the early Piranha Onslaught with the slow, the Sunder, and then your mid lane is able to sit there and get a little bit of damage online. You're looking at a potential first blood opportunity right in mid.
And we have a first ban Kernanos. Not surprised to see that. He has been dominating lately.
Well, I mean, the bottom line is Arceal has only played 2 Hunters this entire series. It's been Cernanos and it's been Hui. So with the Cernanos gone, I expect Dig to probably lean toward Hui for their Hunter pick at some point in time.
He brings a lot to the table in this team fight.
It is dangerous, though, with the Blink. You want to be able to get in and out, but that does leave you down a Team Relic, and, you know, maybe you want to get the Shell plus the Med or something along those lines, but it's actually going to be a target ban towards Zeros, not going to have that Soul. This is an opportunity for Dig to grab their mid laner and possibly get the Chronos.
Dig loves that Soul in the mid lane.
Being on the desk, and Patrick is just such a charisma guy. He just got that natural swag to him, and it just be able to put a show on with those guys just felt amazing, and I know we crushed that right there in Smite.
All right, that's it. That's our picks and bans. LETIGRESS, take it away.
Thanks, my man. And you know what? Despite your name, I would say you're anything but unexceptional.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm very excited for this big game that we're going to be seeing here between Obey and Dignitas. There's a couple big factors I want us to focus in on right away here. First is going to be that Nemesis coming out here on the side of Dignitas. They're going to need to get big things out of that Nemesis, slowing down those tanks on the side of Obey for them to get this win out.
So do you think potentially the Nemesis is really going to be focusing in on Osiris, trying to get Maniac out of the equation, or potentially really zoning in on that Fafnir?
Yeah, I think that there's a good chance we'll see Nemesis put some damage in on Osiris, because that's going to be over there on that solo lane side. Strong ganks onto Osiris to keep it down early, shred those protections. That's going to be big for them getting an early advantage here. We are ready to bring this game here for you now. Tigress, please take it away.
Everybody, this is game number 5 of the finals. Obey on the blue side with Team Dignitas on the red side, as everybody's setting forth a bit of clustering over around the mid lane.
Yeah, that's right. I love this from Obey. They like to group up early. There's a lot of high damage dealers from Dignitas, especially early games. They got to make sure that they're establishing control. But let's talk a little bit here about what we're expecting from both of these two teams. On Dignitas, if Zero struggles in this game, I don't see a way that they can win. They're going to be so reliant on him on that Thoth pick to make something happen. And then on the side of Obey, I mean, I'm looking at Pretty Prime here on that Vulcan, his signature god, to make some big ultimates happen. A lot of aggression already here on this left-hand side.
Yeah, the duo lane getting some poke off early. You really want to make a statement saying, oh, we're the bulkier ones right now. We're going to take you on. But kind of what you said about Pretty Prime earlier, he can look real pretty on that Vulcan, that's for sure.
I loved being on the desk, but I thought I was a really good caster for in the game. And then I heard Gabriella and John start casting, and I thought to myself, nope, they're better than I am. She made the right choice.
Pretty sure Pretty Prime has some software installed there on his computer that lets him have his ultimates track you no matter where you are in the jungle. It just, or at least it certainly seems that way when you watch him play. They're just so accurate. One of the more telegraphed moves in Smite, and he still seems to get those hits off all the time. So I love seeing him on this guy.
He makes it look so easy, and then you go try it yourself and you think, okay, I guess there's a reason that he's the one that does it. But some clearing of the waves here. You're really trying to get those pushes, so we know that the wave from Obey is pushing a bit in that mid lane to attempt to divert some attention.
Emilzy, the only one local here on the side of Obey. He's going to have to use that hammer to try and stop this. Ultimate coming out from Arceal, rain down the sun, secure the Gold Fury. Dignitas does get it, but now the team fight's breaking out.
Yeah, breaking out over here as we see a little bit of a throw-in by Pretty Prime from the sideline as Rom is taking to the skies, trying to get the hits over there, but they're a little too high for it to be super impactful.
Yeah, my big story for this game here so far, as Dignitas does grab that Gold Fury and shrink the Gold Link down to about 1,000k. I wish she had thrown to me a little bit more, because if you're like, oh, well, what's going on with this thing, you know, it looks more like you're setting up your analyst rather than maybe you don't know as much about it. But I mean, she certainly had the energy. She was high up. She was, you know, casting the fights and everything. So I still think the cast went well. I just wish maybe she had thrown to me a little bit more, like deliberately or intentionally, so it played a little bit better, you know, to the people watching. Obey does drop the Portal Demon, but Dignitas have picked it back up, brought it down to about a quarter health here, and it looks like they're trying to bait Obey to commit, and Emilzy jumps in.
Yeah, Emilzy jumps in to try to get to that back line as we see the dragon is activated. Ataraxia taken to the skies, trying to get these hits down, and the suns are raining down as well. Some of the health chunked down for Team Dignitas. The jump in over from Maniac. Who is he going to focus on? We know that Trix tank is looking pretty low, but there's a variety right in the middle of Obey here. Some hop-ins, and we see there are 2 deaths on the side of Team Dignitas. A third one is Variety goes down as well.
Big team member of the fight there for Obey. I'm going to call Fire Giant on that one. They managed to accidentally proc the Fire Giant, get the stun onto Variety there, and the Fire Giant drops a bunch of damage onto multiple members there, but a big wipe there in favor of Obey, able to clean up 3 kills, only dropping 1, along with securing that Portal Demon. That was the fight that we need to see this game break open.
Dare I say, the Fire Giant got pretty fired up.
I'm going to let you stay on that island there by yourself on that one.
Yep, splitting up the team in that way to have to take care of multiple lanes is not a very good thing to have to do in any situation, but particularly against the team of Obey, who has put a lot of fire behind them.
Yeah, I mean, they're the only ones that have gotten a Fire Giant, so they are the ones who are Fuego, if I do say so myself. They're waiting on that Portal Demon to spawn in one more time here. They'll secure that pretty easily, probably back, spin that gold they've been able to accrue here through those towers, and then come back in and start making a stand as the Fire Giant is a little bit less than a minute away from spawning here too.
And I must say, the play coming out of Emilzy has been really good when hopping onto the back line. The support making such an impact here, and as the Portal Demon is going to go down in favor of Obey, if they want to make that quick rotation as soon as the Fire Giant is up to go for time number 2, it shouldn't be an issue. Seeing the damage coming down, Vulcan trying to do what he can, Fred having to back off as he is eliminated by Maniac. Maniac needs to be put into the asylum because he's really making an impact here.
No, you're right. He has been correctly diagnosed as a Maniac here because his build is out of control. There was so much damage coming out there in that last team fight. You saw just one backfire from Vulcan was enough to bring Zeros down to about half health. So much control coming out from Emilzy as well on that Fafnir, and the right side Phoenix is going to fall like tissue paper as well as Obey looks like they want to back off before making their final push and breaking the base of Team Dignitas. It looks like it's all over but the crying here as Arco runs back to base and Obey take the Titan and secure this last game.
Yeah, so Obey, our champions of this final. They have to be feeling pretty good, as we see already jumping up for the celebration.
Can you blame them? I mean, Obey, what a story here, coming in to be the powerhouses of EU. It used to be Energy, but we got new kids on the block here now.
Yeah, the new kids on the block are ready to drop that mixtape, impress us all. But I know some other people that'll impress you. So let's go ahead and throw it over to the analyst desk.
Oh, baby, what a game. Obey taking the set. Pretty Prime and Ataraxia no longer the bridesmaids. Today they get to be the brides as they are the champions
of the Masters land. I mean, that's incredible. This was by far the closest game in this 5-game set.
Let me throw it to our Major League interviewer, Major, here with Ataraxia.
Major here, standing next to Ataraxia, the Obey Hunter playing the Rama. And, I really want to say that you all did a fantastic job. Congratulations again on the win. And above all else, I kind of want to ask, there was a couple of moments there that looked a little interesting, but more interesting is how slow-paced the game was. It took all the way up to 11 minutes for you all to get really going. I mean, was that respect for the other team, or was that more so just fear out of losing Game 5?
It was definitely a bit of respect. I mean, we know we're at 2-2. Dig has some incredible players. Variety, a guy we're very familiar with. He can go off at any moment. And it's kind of just, I think, us getting into the game, don't want to make any early mistakes. This is such a, important meta to be strong early on that, we wanted to play a little bit more cautiously. So.
And we thank you here from the Hi-Res Studios as well as the production crew. We had a wonderful time with you all, and we greatly appreciate you all watching. Be sure to follow over on Smite Game on Twitter to get all the updates on future tournaments and future events. But for myself and the rest of the crew here at Atlanta, signing out.
I think the emphasis going into it was having fun, and everyone looked like they were having fun. I mean, I know I was having a really good time.
I think we, as a whole, did really, really good.
I think we destroyed it.
I'm on top of the world right now. It was just, it was so good.
I think overall, it came together really well.
Salve a tutti, my name is Merlo and I'm your host for the Smite Masters in Atlanta 2017. I'm so excited to bring you the best esport experience ever. We got a great show for you tonight, so Desk, just take it away!
Thank you very much, Merlo. I am Rock the Dwarf, also known as Eric, and I have a great pleasure this afternoon to be on the analyst desk, surrounded by a couple of our international casters. Merlo, our Italian stallion, and over here to my left, it is the British Wonder Boy himself, Supersonic Blur.
Hi there, it's good to be there, and this is certainly shaped up to be a fantastic set. Coming down to that Game 5, both teams back and forth the entire time. It has truly been a wonderful pleasure.
It has been just an amazing set. Obey versus Dignitas. These guys have been going back and forth all day. Nobody's been seemed to get a leg up. And, you know, the real story here is, you know, this is Variety's new team. These guys are a new composition they put together, and they have just, you know, steamrolled through relegations. They find themselves in a Game 5 versus Obey right now.
And, of course, we've got to mention that old rivalry going back. Variety was on Obey last year, coming into the World Finals, not able to pick up the win, finds himself this whole new team thinking he's got a better shot with it. So leaving that hole open in the solo lane, they managed to pick up Maniac out of retirement for it, which is, that's certainly something.
It is great. And like you said, Maniac, new to Obey. We also have a Millsy, they're new to Obey as well.
Oh man, that was so much fun. Just to be able to do that in that whole situation. It felt so much more relaxed, just the whole situation. It was great.
All right, well, we are ready to get into the picks and bans phase. For that, we are going to send it over to our casters this afternoon, Rabies and the one and only ROHNJOBERT. Hey, fellas.
Hi, thank you so much, Eric. My name is Rabies, and I am alongside the amazing ROHNJOBERT. How you doing today, buddy?
I'm very excited that this went to a Game 5. This is a dream scenario if you love watching and commentating Smite.
Absolutely, and we do have Game 5 of Obey versus Team Dignitas, and we're getting right into the picks and bans.
Now, I am looking right now for an Osiris ban, because at this point, you don't know if Maniac is comfortable on anything else. However, you could just ban away the Morgan, maybe a Cirquette, and kind of get rid of the options later in these phases.
Right, it is going to be interesting to see what they try to ban. Are they going to try to ban, you know, character-specific or player-specific bans, or are they going to try to ban out the meta and build a team around that?
I think there's been a mini meta established in this game, best
Sure.
of 5 set. Most best of 5, the Kernanos meta, very meta ban. That is just
oh, absolutely.
That is just a very clean ban, and the Terra has been picked or banned almost every single game.
As we go back to the other side, tell me, John, what is the key for Obey Alliance to take this Game 5?
I am very confused by this Amaterasu ban, considering that if they pick the Amaterasu, hypothetically, that is a 4 physical composition, and
Sure.
that is very, very snowball related.
Sure.
And Dignitas has those late game it has those late game gods. Nemesis, Hu Yi takes a little bit to come online. Bellona's very early game, but you see that, and it's like, you know, they're not good. That's not going to happen, especially with 4 physicals. But like I said, the Morgan being banned, that's a pretty prime ban. You're not getting 2 Hunbat's ultimates this game.
As we get right underway here, Game 5.
I am seeing a very early mid group. This is definitely just a safety group. You know, the game is not started. I'm looking right now to see how they deal with the duo and the mid pressure.
Yeah, duo and the mid pressure. The jungler are going to hang around that mid lane. We're going to see that start off there. Team Dignitas versus Obey, Game 5, 5 seconds in. This stuff, right, he's going to sit for Team Dignitas. Zeros, he plays it so aggressively. But the thing is that you can get caught out quite a bit. It's going to be who can press harder. Is it going to be Obey with the press or Team Dignitas with the poke?
That's going to be very interesting to see, and that with these compositions, you know, Obey has a lot better early game, and we actually see that hammer coming onto Bacchus, and that's a very good amount of poke. You have to use some of those potions early.
Nemesis ultimate coming out early. We are going to see the Hu Yi ultimate come out as well. Arkle almost getting away with his life, but he will fall down to the Vulcan.
That was a huge engage and a first blood very early for a European game.
Absolutely, 1-1, and the big thing here is Quavo Fred, he was able to pick up a kill on Nemesis. I don't know how I feel about that, but Pretty Prime was able to pick one up as well.
Captain Twig dying there is very unfortunate because, as I said earlier, Hunbat's is not the late game hybrid carry that you want to come out of Nemesis with.
Right.
Obviously you want it, and it's a very good pick, and you're not just doing it to combat Nemesis, but having that 1-to-1 jungler pressure late is very helpful, and now that he's behind, it might be an issue.
Is anyone going to go down here? Captain Twig with a sliver of life. He's going to get away, but it might be a counter gank here.
That's exactly what you see. It's a 4v2, and then they get counter-engaged 4v4.
4v4, yeah. Lord of the Afterlife did come out from Osiris, but once again, despite all the action, it ends in no kills with a disengage.
They did not have the damage to immediately kill Captain Twig, and then they had that really late rotation. Like I said, Maniac comes in late. He said, I'm going to rotate my own way because it doesn't really matter where I go. I'm still going to be the tanky presence. But whenever you catch someone out, 4v2, you have to get that kill, or you have to disengage and not get really kind of too cocky.
Yeah, but I just don't know what he was thinking. I mean, it was 4-1, and after that pass fight engagement, it is now 7-1. When you are down, you just can't make a mistake like that.
Well, I'll tell you what he was thinking, and it wasn't. He wasn't thinking. So
I'm still jaw dropped over it.
But, you know, it is what it is.
It is what it is as we move on into the fight. Now we're going to have that Eagles rally come out. Fear no evil as recession from Captain Twiggy. Fear no evil came out. Just disengaged again. These guys are just playing the chess game back and forth. As we see Emilzy, he's going to dive in on Argyle. Ultimate coming out from Bacchus. This is going to be a massive Ataraxia up in the air, trying to get a snipe. He won't be able to take anyone down. Everyone's ultimate is coming out, and this is going to be an insane engage.
This is exactly what Obey wanted. Final Judgment coming out from Thoth there, a ton of damage.
Yeah, absolutely, a ton of damage. And right now, we're seeing another engage. The Fire Giant has actually been triggered. Variety is soaking it all up. I cannot believe what I'm seeing. Ataraxia taking down one. Captain Twig taking down two. And Ataraxia with the double.
It is not often that you see the very rare 6th member of Obey come out, and that is the Fire Giant himself. He is wearing that Obey jersey as Ataraxia gets turned on by the Thought that has, you know, a lot of damage, and Ataraxia probably just learned that and kind of relearned it. And I think this is actually very messed up, that the Fire Giant just won them a fight, and now that they decide to kill him, I don't understand why they're turning their back on this Fire Giant. That is their 6th member that they are betraying.
This guy just won them a team fight. They're going to turn back, kill him, steal his jersey. What a bunch of grave robbers. What does Team Dignitas need to do? How do they just went from being down 2,000 gold to now being down 9,000 gold in just one map rotation. What do they need to do to get back into this one?
Unfortunate for them, they do not have very deep ward coverage, so they can't see this very awkward stage of having Fire Giant where you back and you say, okay, we got all the objectives on one side, let's back and just walk to the others. They do not have that vision, so they can't exactly catch someone out of position. They need to, though. That is what I want to see. I want to see them rotate as 5 and see if they can find just one of Obey and get rid of that FG.
Big kills right here as they push into the Titan. And it's going to be game over. Game 5 goes to Obey.
Exactly. Game 5, Obey doing so much work. Such a snowball effect for an early game team comp to combat that late game power.
Wow. I mean, truly a comic game. We're going to go right back to the analyst desk.
All right, thanks a lot, guys. Thanks very much, Raby and ROHNJOBERT. So, man, what a game right there.
That was, I think that's what we could all say we expected to see from a Game 5. That was fantastic to watch. Slightly slower early start, but man, there's that one point that we know we saw, and then everything just went.
Everything came crashing down for Team Dignitas. That's right. Pretty Prime does pick up the Houyi, but immediately answered back the Nemesis picking up the Hun bots.
Indeed. So they were able to sort of stall that out there, and it was an absolutely fantastic game. I do believe we actually have an interview right now, so.
We sure do. Standing over here, the Italian stallion himself, Merlo, is with our man of the day, Ataraxia.
Thanks, Eric. I'm with the man himself, Ataraxia. I'm just gonna wait a little bit. Man, you are the man.
I froze up thinking of how to try and throw it back to Rog, and so in the end I accidentally threw it over to Merlo for the interview at the end of it.
It's one of those things where that's what the audience hears. You just have to kind of run with it and pray that your production crew is as good as these guys here.
I want to know about that Fire Giant, man. That fight was so amazing, but also so dangerous. What do you think about that?
I mean, I got to give it up to, I think, our frontline squad, right? You know, Millsy, Maniac, the way that they controlled the pace and the structure of the fight just gave me so much room to breathe. It allowed Pretty Prime to hit some big plays, you know, on the Fire Giant where, you know, Variety accidentally pulls it with the Mystical Mail. Those are the bounces that just seem to go our way. So, I mean, great fight. We just came out on the end of it.
Let me just say, man, once again, you are the man. Well, guys, thanks for tuning in. From Merlo, that's all. Arrivederci.
feel really, really good. I was mainly excited to get everybody comfortable. And by getting everybody comfortable, I was able to just say, be yourself. We're the personality team, honestly.
Killed it. Nailed it. Murdered it. Whatever you want to call it.
And that challenge was so much fun. We had a great time, really putting it all together, and I think it went really well.
You had to do hosting, you had to do, panelists and analysts, etc. You had to, just cast the game. So it felt nice, it felt complete,
So it's really up to us to stand out. And the cast was honestly really fun, like a lot of jokes, and that's just me, and doing really fun analysis, going super in depth. I love it.
The biggest thing is going to be getting back into the mindset we were beforehand. I think we're all kind of on a high right now from the Smite one, thinking we're really happy with that performance. So we need to go into Paladins with that same mindset we did before, where we didn't know how it was going to turn out. And that will be the biggest challenge.
Hey, what's up, folks? Tom Battinger here. On behalf of everybody that took part, thanks for watching the caster. We really appreciate it. But if you want to dig even deeper and find behind-the-scenes action, some commentary, and all the other fun stuff, check out the caster's YouTube page, youtube.com/thecastershow. We definitely appreciate it, and we'll see you later.